Liam Smith. I know Liam Smith had issues in that camp. I don't give him much of a chance against
Conor Benn knocks him out in 5 rounds.
All right, we've got a few minutes here. We're going to interview Eddie Hearn for DAZN, but I've asked Tony Bellew to make his debut on my channel with DAZN mics. So Tony Bellew, welcome to the channel.
I want to come on your show, but you've got to get me one of them chairs.
The green chairs?
Yes.
I can get you one. I can get you one, Tony. Proper stuff. A few things to quickly talk about. I want to touch on AJ. There's rumours that he might come back this year.
Yes.
He's gone into camp with Derek James, gone back to America.
He's gone to America.
Gone to America.
Okay, so he's left Ben Davison.
He's left Ben Davison. What do you make of it? AJ, do you think he will fight again this year?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Is that inside information or?
No, it's not. I haven't spoken to him for a while, to be fair. I just think he will.
There aren't that many dates though. You look at the December, what you got, Haney
AJ wants to
Prograde the
fight
9th.
both.
If AJ wants to fight, he fights. You find a date. You find a date.
Just fine. You stick it on a Wednesday if need be.
No, I always say that. I don't know why someone like AJ can't fight midweek. I don't understand why it has to be fixed on Saturday.
It's because it's an event. When AJ fights, it's an event, and people want to have a drink, they want to chill out, they want to relax, they want to travel.
They do it at football. They do it at football.
Yeah, but they've got work the next day.
Okay.
And with football, it's kind of. Is it ever the same on a Wednesday night? I mean,
No.
listen, I wouldn't know anything about.
And it's ingrained.
You'd know
It's
about
ingrained.
Champions League. I wouldn't know anything about that. So,
And it's ingrained as well. If he does come back, and I hope he does, because I remember speaking to AJ at the start of the year, and he said 3 fights this year.
Yes.
Obviously, we've had Elenius, and we've had Jermaine Franklin.
Jermaine Franklin.
Yeah. So if he does, is it that kind of opponent still? That level of opponent, or do you go a bit up?
I'd take the trajectory a little bit up.
Yeah.
I would look more towards now a gatekeeper.
Okay. See, they're all out in Saudi. If I'm honest with you, Martin Bakoli is out on Saudi.
And Michael Hunter, who beat Martin Bakoli.
Michael Hunter's interesting.
That's a difficult one, though. He's a problem.
Yeah, but
I know you're going to say he's a cruiserweight, but he's a problem.
He is a cruiserweight. He's a lot smaller than AJ. Obviously, he's been a heavyweight for a few years, but
he's been a sparring partner quite lately as well.
Yeah.
Recently of AJ's.
Are we nervous for AJ where we say that's a problem?
No, I'm not nervous at all. I mean, I put him in against anyone.
Hunter.
I think so.
Yeah.
100%. But it's just whether they want to do it. I mean, does it really sell?
That's the issue,
now the guy's going to open them out. Yeah. I mean, listen, if you want something to sell,
Jarrell Miller. I hate it.
I don't think
Jarrell Miller gets the phone call, it sells.
I don't think it should happen. I don't think he should ever be allowed in the boxing ring again. But people will say, well, why shouldn't it? Because this guy had more steroids in him than the Hulk.
Yeah.
So that's why
he literally failed for every steroid you could.
But
he will sell it.
I think Mahmoud Shah's done the same thing.
Yeah.
He's failed tests before, and if so, I'd like to see that fight because he talks a good game.
Yeah.
He gives it the big one. You know, he was the one shouting threats down Twitter the last time I heard. I mean, in this crazy, I am going to get you voice of some kind of Bond villain.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, we'll see. Listen, ultimately, the 2 fights that matter most to Anthony Joshua is what we all know. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder.
And we've been saying that, Tone, for 4 years.
Would you want it?
We've been saying it for 4 years. I don't even see if it's happening.
Would you take on... No, you wouldn't face Southpaw Luis Ortiz. Would you take on Andy Ruiz?
Yes. That's the one for me. You take on it, there's a story to sell, it's one-on-one. And the second fight, let's be honest, a lot of people, not me, but a lot of people say AJ kind of fought on the back foot, didn't fight the way we're used to seeing him fight. Do it again.
Joe Joyce.
Whew. Now that's risky.
Joe
You
Joyce?
don't think it is. You think Joe Joyce is kind of like an egg that's been cracked and can't be
I'm gutted I'm saying it because I love Joe Joyce. I really like Joe Joyce and I want him to get out the game because I just think his greatest asset is gone. And in boxing, once it's gone, believe me, it's gone.
Yeah.
His durability was his greatest asset.
Oh, wait, what about the flip side of that coin? Zhili Zhang. A southpaw.
Mate,
a hard-hitting giant.
If I was the unified heavyweight champion in the world, I would just tell him to go for a walk.
Really?
Go for a walk and have an argument with himself in a room. I hate southpaws, but he's a southpaw that can be hit. He's a southpaw that walks at you in straight lines. He's heavy-footed. He's also very heavy-handed. So I like it, but
there are opponents out there for him, right? And I mean, if you're AJ, that's the one for me. I honestly think...
I think he knocks out Filibergovich.
From what I've seen against Dempsey McKean and before against Zhili Zhang, it's not the
Dempsey
Hergovich...
McKean was having to go back. Zhili Zhang beat him.
Having to go back. Zhili Zhang beat him. That's the one. And I think that's the one that people will accept as well. Because the record book says unbeaten. He's dangerous. He ticks all those boxes.
Similar to a Pulev fight, in my opinion. That fight.
Yeah, slow-footed. I think Hrgovic. I think Hrgovic is the one
That's a good fight.
And look, we'll speak to Eddie a bit later. I think that's the one that you make. Do you think we're ever going to get the Wilder fight?
Yes.
How do you say these things so confidently?
Because money talks.
We've been waiting for ages.
Money talks in boxing.
Well, didn't it talk
Chaos
enough
in
a
Lagos.
few months ago? Chaos in Lagos. Chaos in Lagos. Chaos in Lagos. Copyrighted it already. Trademarked a lot. Chaos in Lagos. That's the one. Do you think we ever see AJ Fury? Like, honestly.
Yes. I believe we'll see them all because money determines everything in this silly game.
Yeah.
Money dictates everything.
And there's a lot of money there. There's a lot of money.
Listen, we thought that Fury and Usyk would never happen. The right people throw enough money at it. Guess what? It's signed.
Yeah, it is. Another fight that might happen end of the year. I'm there with this one. I don't think it will. I'll ask you though, Conor Benn, Chris Eubank Jr. Do you think that happens December 23rd? We're here in the Principality Stadium, which I think is far too big. Far too
They'll
big.
sell whenever them
80,000.
Whenever them two boys come together in a boxing ring, they will sell every single seat possible wherever they go. They could fill 100,000.
Wait. So do you think if it was the 23rd of December, you think they could do it on the 23rd, 2 days before Christmas?
I will bet you. The day after
Hotels,
my wife's 40th.
travel, all that.
Don't talk to me about that. My wife's 40 the day before. I'm in trouble if that happens.
Do you think it happens though?
I'm not sure if it happens on the 23rd, but I promise you, if it does happen on the 23rd, there won't be a spare seat in the house. No matter where. This could sell Wembley twice. Addy, I can't explain to you how important history is in this business. If there's history and there's a storyline, it's getting made. And even after
so
that,
it's now got bigger because of the problem.
Without
this is madness.
Well, it was already big from the fathers. Never mind them. Yeah. And then this happened with Conor and the whole situation of courtrooms and people turning on each other, and there is so much more as well that to come out that certain people know.
Well, you know, when the fight was first made, I gave Conor a chance. It wasn't a big one because he's going up in weight and the weight drain of Eubank Jr. After seeing Eubank with Bomac against Liam Smith, I know Liam Smith had issues in that camp. I don't give him much of a chance against
Conor
Eubank.
Benn knocks him out in 5 rounds. Inside 5 rounds. Too explosive, too young, too quick. Okay, just
really
inside 5 rounds.
I always find it difficult to argue with a boxer, someone that's been there and sees things that I don't see. You think Conor Benn knocks out Chris Eubank Jr. at 160 in 5
rounds? Inside 5 rounds. I don't even question it. I don't even. That wasn't Liam Smith in the rematch.
No, it
Liam
was
Smith
a bad.
Would have dealt with him in 4 rounds in the rematch.
So you don't give no credit to you. Oh, have you still got this Eubank thing?
What
from when he called you out like 10 years ago? Is that what the problem is?
Well, I'll tell you one thing I give Chris Eubank all the credit in the world for. That boy has a serious set of bollocks.
Mate.
He went back in the ring with Liam Smith after taking a beating.
Insane.
That is insane amounts of belief.
Yeah.
I mean,
both of them have it. This is why I do like your shout there. I think it's a bit wild, but both of them have it. Benn and Eubank both have exactly the same belief. But Eubank almost looks at Benn, and I saw him at the Misfits thing. He looks at Benn like he's a little kid, like, you're not even here for me.
But the difference is, Chris Eubank Jr. is now being shattered. That's a mask, that's a facade he's put on now. That is not, he knows he can be beaten. He knows he can be knocked out. He knows he can be dropped.
Yeah.
Conor Benn still got that invincibility aura about him. I'm unbeaten. No one can beat me. I'm unstoppable. I'm an immovable object. And as a fighter, when that is still ingrained in you, it's only when you really lose and lose properly that goes. Then you become vulnerable. After I fought Adonis Stevenson, I classed that as my first genuine loss in my career. After that night, I was vulnerable then. My whole style changed. I boxed differently going forward.
Yeah.
I was so much more aware. I was so much more cautious. I understood the dangers more in boxing. And believe you me, Chris Eubank Jr. can put a mask across him and say this and say that. You got absolutely pulverized by Liam Smith. And
maybe
that
an
will stay
elbow
with you forever.
involved?
Bro, there was no
maybe an elbow. There was no elbow.
Bro, there was an uppercut before the elbow.
There was an uppercut before the elbow.
There was an uppercut before the elbow, and there was a right hand after the elbow. And believe
so there was an elbow.
Oh, there was a grazing of a forearm. You're talking like, if you want to see an elbow, do me a favour. YouTube, Michael Bisping against Dan Henderson.
That's an elbow.
That's an elbow.
Okay, fair. Okay, fair.
YouTube, Israel Adesanya.
Yeah,
They
those
are called elbows.
John Jones. Those are
Jones
elbows. Agreed.
on
Agreed.
Daniel Cormier on the floor.
Ooh,
Well,
brutal.
their elbows. This was a grazing of a forearm.
Great. You're a boxer's grazing of a forearm. Before we wrap, this is close to the end of the year. How would you grade the year of boxing? I'll give it a good B. Crawford, Spence.
Oh, grade. I was going to say one,
Grade it.
number
No,
1 to
grade
10.
it.
Grade it. Because now it would be a D if it wasn't for Spence and Crawford.
Okay.
It would be a D. With Spence and Crawford, I'll go C, and it's because of them two, really.
Yeah.
Because it's been such a letdown year for me personally, because
The heavyweights let it down. The heavyweights let it down.
They're pulling us along the way, and then I was gutted about Joe Joyce.
The fact that heavyweight champion, and this is not a dig at Tyson Fury because I'm going Saudi, but the fact that heavyweight champion hasn't defended his belt, or the number one hasn't defended his belt.
The
this year's a
lineal
problem.
champion.
The lineal champion.
I don't think he's the number one anymore.
And to be fair, Usyk defended it against Dubois. So that's it. We've had one defense, and it was Usyk Dubois. It's not great, is
and
it?
he only fought Dubois because it was a mandatory.
All right, Eddie Hearn's coming now, so we're going to quickly wrap. Tony, appreciate it. Thank you very much. Tony Bellew's debut on the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Don't diss him for that Conor Benn take. It's just, that's his belief.
And stay tuned in, like and subscribe. I think that's what you say.
That's what I say.
Like and subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Watch his channel.
Yes, thank you very much.